Happy Sunday, everybody. It's been quite a week over here at Heartland Reptiles. I wasn't expecting anything big to be going on, but I came down to the snake room earlier this week and there were 2 eggs sitting on the floor of Basil's enclosure. And that's actually not the biggest issue that's going on right now. So Basil had been off of food for a couple of months, which meant she was going through her reproductive cycle. I didn't see any big ovulation. Then saw her, what I thought was reabsorbing the follicles. She actually accepted a meal, which generally would mean no eggs are coming. So I wrote off that we weren't getting eggs this season from her. And then, yeah, came down and there were 2 eggs sitting on the floor of the enclosure. So that was quite a surprise. After seeing those 2 eggs, I went ahead and palpated her, meaning, you know, you let them run through your fingers and feel for more more eggs inside. I believe that I felt a total of 20 with the included eggs that came out already so far. Yeah, I thought Basil had gone ahead and reabsorbed her follicles, wasn't expecting anything to come from her. And then, like I said, there were 2 eggs on the enclosure floor. Went a few more days, a couple more eggs came out, 2 more days, a couple more eggs came out. So far we've had 9 eggs come out of her. I believe that there are 11 left still inside. So later on we're gonna go ahead and give her a nice soak, make sure we get all those eggs out. At this point, the concern is her health, making sure that she's getting back to healthy. We don't want those eggs sitting inside of her going bad and causing her to go septic or any other issues. So at this point, mom is the concern more than the babies. Here are 2 more eggs that Basil dropped. This one is definitely very hard and firm. So it's, you can see it's definitely a not viable egg. This one, unfortunately, she dropped and left alone. It sat too long and cold to be any good, but I thought it might be neat for you all to see those. And we're gonna look at how the rest of them are looking. And a warning, they don't look very good. These 2 I will be throwing away right after this video. This one is not looking that great. To be honest, I don't know that any of these will end up being viable, just because I think they were inside of her too long. You can almost see the progression. The longer they've sat, the worse they start to look. So some of these may be all right, but frankly, I'm not holding my breath. I don't really think that we'll get anything out of these. But worst case scenario, they sit in here before going bad. I'd rather give them a chance to survive than just go ahead and throw them away right off the bat. But that's what they look like. Like I said, probably not going to be any good, but at least we have them. So the reason that this pairing was important is Basil's a pure Coyote paired with another pure Coyote. Basil is het anery. The male that paired with her was an anery, so we would verify and prove out that she is in fact anery, and we would get pure Coyote localities with lineage tracing back to importation. So it's very important for the United States captive population that we would get pure Coyote animals and also verify that it's a pure anerythristic gene within them. So the pairing is very important, but again, the female's health is more important than the eggs. At this point, the timeline of things has been a little bit skewed. Again, I'm not perfect on this stuff. I'm still learning on breeding, but getting better the more that I see. The real concern is that if she doesn't pass the eggs that are left within her, those will go bad and start to rot inside of her, which would obviously be very detrimental to her health. So the goal now is to make sure that mom passes these eggs out, so that we can get her back on the mends, get some smaller meals in, get her digestive cycle going again, since she hasn't eaten in months with the exception of this last meal. So we're going to work on getting her back into health. But I wanted to touch on why this pairing is important to the United States population of locality retics, or at least why it's important to me in that regard. So if you're not into genetics, that's why this is important. The next pairing we're going to discuss is Elowin and Solaire, the male that came that paired. Those both came from Kagan Andrew. I'll put a link to her and Jerry Wolf. They have a channel together, and then there's a channel, Fishing with Kagan. I highly recommend both of those. They're both great people and have some really fun content on their channel. Those two came from Kagan. She wasn't able to get them to breed to see the potential outcomes, but wanted to know that it was going to continue, which is why I was able to get them from her. So Kagan, thank you again. I adore both of them. They're both wonderful animals. Elowin had eaten on December 11th, so she's been off of food for a few months. Thought that I saw some ovulation. Wasn't really sure, didn't get a good confirmation on lock. Wouldn't have been surprised if they locked without me seeing it. The potential from those animals was going to be an absolutely amazing clutch. Solaire is a motley tiger snow. Elowin is an anery tiger het albino, which means we could have had super tiger motley snows out of it, which would have been just beautiful animals. Not only just the genetic combination, but the specific animals being bred are great examples of both. So would have been a great outcome if they had gone. I have since palpated Elowin, not feeling anything inside of her. Her body tone looks great for not having eaten in 2.5, 3 months, but she's also not swollen like she's carrying any eggs. So I think we missed on that, which is, again, okay. They're both healthy, which is the main concern, but looks like we won't be getting any potential eggs out of those two this year, which, again, that's all right. It's how it goes. We'll keep trying. We'll try again next year and see if we can get it to land. The last animal we're going to discuss, which we've talked about in the past, is Eve. Eve is, honestly, for me personally, the most exciting clutch potentially for this year. And in general, she is Eve because she was the original plan for the Heartland Reptiles Breeding Foundation. That's how she got her name. Eve's been looking really good. Like I've mentioned, I'm not real confident in my ability to palpate and be accurate with what I'm feeling as I'm new to this, but she's been off of food. She's been doing very well with everything, and she has now shed. I've got her shed tracked in my calendar. For those that are unaware, generally speaking, the shed cycles will coincide with when the animal is going to lay eggs. So we should have eggs from Eve hopefully in about 3 weeks, give or take a little bit, which is very exciting. Stay tuned. Make sure you guys are subscribed if you haven't already, so that you can see the potential eggs coming out of Eve in the future. We're only a few weeks away. I did palpate her, and when I was doing that, I felt 14 lumps. Again, I don't trust my ability, so I'm not saying there will be 14 eggs. There may be more or less, but that's what I felt, and they feel good, viable. So I am very, very excited that it looks like Eve is still progressing on with pregnancy and developing those eggs. So what does this all mean for Heartland Reptiles pairings for the year of 2026? Well, it means that even though I'm 7 years in and I've had a successful clutch with Mila in 2023, I'm still learning. I will continue to learn as I go. Some of the things that I've learned, especially this last week with the scramble with the unexpected eggs coming out of Basil, is to be prepared. I now have additional perlite ready. I have additional tubs. The incubator is up and running, so I'm ready to go if and when Eve drops eggs for me. And there's backup plans, right? So the incubator I've got a backup water heater, backup water fan. Everything's ready to go for Eve. So I'm prepared now, which is good. I will make sure to be prepared in the future and coming years as well, so that I don't have to scramble and worry about, if a female drops eggs and doesn't wrap them and try to self-incubate them, that I'm prepared to put them into my incubator. What this really means is if and when Eve drops eggs, this is the start of at least my first attempted multi-generational plan, right? I want to work this project for generations down the road to help hone in on the morph mutations that she has and drive towards a specific polygenic look that I'm trying to create. Her color mutations and patterns, the sire that paired with her, which is Baraka. And it's very exciting because this would be the first generation towards that long-term goal. It's a big deal to me. I'm very excited about it. It might as well be my first clutch all over again. And hopefully here in just a few weeks, I will have a new video showing you Eve wrapped up on a bunch of eggs, and we can go through all that exciting process together. What this means is if and when Eve lays, this could start the multi-generational process for Heartland Reptiles. This is where it really starts the foundation that I hope to grow off of in the years and decades to come. So it's very exciting. The next few weeks are going to be very important, and I hope to see you here, and we'll keep everybody updated. Have a great week, y'all.